Welcome back to the 1997 podcast. My name is Chris, and I'm here with AJ. And today, like we say every episode, is going to be a little different from last week. Today, we are going to be talking about legacies. So you guys listen to our nice ASMR voice on a nice Sunday afternoon. And we're going to be talking about legacies yet again, because who wouldn't want to hear that? Because I know I do. I love talking about the show. I know AJ loves talking about the show. But we're going to do it a little different today. Today we are actually going to be doing 21 questions for the show. And at the end of it, we are going to be doing whose line is it anyway? So that's going to be fun while AJ spews quotes at me. And I'm going to sit there, big brain energy, pretend I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm just probably going to be taking wild guesses most of the time. It's going to be fun, I promise. So we actually have a couple of questions set here. And I have one or two of them that I know for a fact she's probably not going to be able to answer. I haven't told her about them yet.
What?
Yeah. I sent her a bunch of questions. It's like, all right, this is going to be good. But what I didn't send her was two questions actually about the show that I want her to answer, because I didn't want her to think about it. I wanted her to come up on it on a dime, because she's done that to me a couple of times with the 21 questions. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get back at her. So I think we should just jump right into it. If you are ready, I am 100% ready for this episode, because this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is definitely one of the funnest episodes, I think, of the Legacy series, but it is the last one. You failed to mention that. This is like part 3 of 3. Like, this is the last Legacies episode we're going to have until like the new season comes out. So, but before, like you said, you wanted to jump in, but quickly, you know what I was thinking about before we started the podcast?
What?
Last week, we were, like, praising season 3. We were like, yeah, this is going to be it. This is going to be super fucking lit. Like, yes, legacies for finally learning. And then it, like, clicked in my brain. It's like, we're, like, applauding basically the ending half of season 2 and not season 3. Like, I don't know, because I was like, look at them sticking with the necromancer, and then I remembered, I was like, oh wait, no, these episodes were a part of season 2, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we were like,
forgot about that.
We were praising it, but I was like, I just wanted to make that correction on the podcast, like, so, well, I'll give it to you guys. Season 2 seemed like it should have been pretty fucking dope. Okay, but with that out of the way, like, that was, like, weighing on my heart. I don't know. But, because I felt like we gave it a hard time. We were like, season 2 was kind of lackluster, and it's because all the good episodes got bumped to season 3, so it's not their fault. But yeah, we start. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I felt like I needed to clear that up.
It's all COVID's fault, because they actually had to stop season 2. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so how are they going to do that? Exactly. What are they going to do? Like, season 2 is season 3, obviously. Mm-hmm. But are they going to split it into more parts? Like, are we going to get more episodes for season 3, since they're basically doing 2 seasons in one?
I'm assuming that would be the case. So, like, it would suck. I don't think they're going to cut season 3 any shorter than what it was supposed to be. I think we're going to get the continuation of season 2. It wasn't that much. I think there was only, like, 3 or 4 more episodes. So it's really, in, like, the grand scheme of things, it's not going to look like that much that they added. But we are hopefully going to get a whole season 3 plus the ending episodes of season 2.
Plus hope. We're hopefully going to get hope.
Hopefully Hope's gonna come back to us.
Wake the fuck up, bitch. Let's go. time to get up.
It's time to record your podcast. Wake me up. September's over. Wake up.
Literally what I did to you today. I called AJ and I was like, yo, it's time to get up. She's like, huh? I was like, I gotta record.
I know. I was so tired. It's just one of those days. So
I'm gonna pull an AJ and we're gonna reel it back in here to our topics. So who wants to go first? Should I go first or should you go first for the questions?
You can go first. I'm more than okay with that.
Oh, okay. Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
So I already know the answer to this, but I want to hear your second one. Oh. So I wanted to know who your favorite ship is. Mm-hmm. You obviously know it's Hope and Landon.
Obviously.
Your second favorite ship.
I'm a woman of taste, like a chef's kiss kind of hand-in moment. You know what I mean? You know what's funny is that I knew you were going to ask me for 2 of them, so I made sure to like think about it, because like obviously I was like, oh my god, my hand and heart explodes. Oh my god. But I really, you know, it's controversial, but I really like Sebastian and Lizzie. Like, oh my god. I don't know, there's something about them that I'm just like, oh, it's like toxic, and I'm here, like, it's the only like toxic relationship in Legacies, and I'm like, yes, drama, yes, complexity. Show it to me. I'm like, yes, Sebastian, gaslight her into making her think she's crazy. Yes, MG, fuck that relationship up. And like, and everyone's like, oh my god, MG and Lizzie, MG and Lizzie. And like, that eulogy scene was very cute, don't get me wrong. But like, I feel like if it happens, it'll be like a Caroline situation. Like, it'll just feel so forced and like unnatural that at this point, like, I'm okay with them just being like really great best friends. Just to like not ruin that relationship. But to answer the question, Sebastian and Lizzie, I don't know. I like how toxic they are. Plus, he's like really cute, and just like I'm also very toxic. So, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Why you said that? He's like, oh my god, they're so toxic. I'm like, the back of my head, like the immediate thought that came into my head is like when we've only known toxic relationships, so we push that onto other people.
Oh yeah, me projecting my inner demons on TV show couples.
I would have to say that. I would have to say that not Lizzie and Sebastian. I'd say Lizzie and Raphael.
Oh, absolutely not. That was a train wreck from the start. Did you watch season
toxic? We good.
No, did you watch season 1? Like, they had no chemistry whatsoever, those two.
Yeah, in season 1.
Girl, that's the only season they wanted to be together. And even then he didn't want to be with her.
Yeah, but I still ship it. Exactly. Toxicity. Force them together. Let's go.
No, speaking of like being toxic, we had a comment on a previous video and from Frankie, shout out to Frankie. Thank you for listening. But he brought up a really good point. It's like he mentioned about ships, which is why I bring this up. He said, I hope they don't do Hope like they did to Elena and have to choose between the brothers. And in this case, instead of like Damon and Stefan, then it'll be between Landon and Raphael that she has to choose from. I would scream. Do you understand? I will go down to Covington and just scream in everybody's faces. Like, just straight up aggravation. But he makes a good point. Do you think like that is like it's a possibility because they are following such like a niche TVD storyline between like, and I don't understand what the show writers' problem is.
It's Julie Plec. I mean, if she sees that comment, we're fucked. Like,
Frankie, delete it right now. Hurry up.
Well, I mean, technically, even in the books for the Vampire Diaries, it was still between Elena and the brothers throughout the entire series. So they're only really just following it. But if they want to bring it into Legacies, then yeah, if they really are following like the Vampire Diaries and all that shit, then I could actually see that like love triangle going on, especially if Hope wakes up and Landon is still asleep.
Oh God. And no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm worried about that kind of storyline because they're going to put Landon's like spirit, quote unquote, in Raphael's body. So like we
don't know that they're going to do it. He just asked the necromancer to. We don't know if he's actually going to go through with it or like, that's just something that's like, oh my God, he's going to do it. But then we have Landon actually waking up.
No, I feel like they're gonna do it. Like, I feel like that's the storyline they're gonna go down because they want like that. Like, they've been trying to push Hope and Raphael and have like all these like little cute, sincere moments. Like, I've been noticing the editing. I went back and rewatched some episodes, and especially in season 2, like I don't know why they were pushing Raphael and Hope so much, and nobody wanted it. We were like, we finally get Hope and Landon back in like the same like quote unquote like world, and you're trying to push a different. Honey girl, Miss Girl, no.
I think that's why they're gonna do it. I think that's why they were doing it, because they were planning for it. And now that like if Landon really is inside Raphael's body, number one is Landon gonna tell Hope that hey, it's him, or is he gonna keep it a secret? And then what do you do now? Because now Hope is gonna fall in love with Raphael. I mean, it's still maybe Landon, but it's just like the person itself.
Yeah, but then that begs the question: is like. They also had a storyline like that kind of in originals with Davina and Cole, where it wasn't Cole. It was Cole in a different body, but it was still Cole. And at the end of the day, it was still like Cole that she loved and like married to. So is it going to be something like that? Is it going to be like, okay, like you're here for a moment because Landon's now in Raphael's body. So now it's going to be technically Raphael and Hope. And then the second they put Landon back, and then what's going to happen between Raphael and his feelings afterwards, it's going to be a mess. Talking about favorite ships. All these ships are going to blow up, okay? They all have targets pointed at one another.
No, but actually, no. I think a lot of people are going to start shipping Hope and Raphael, especially after this season. It's going to be like a crazy house. Everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, but they had so much chemistry. Bitch, it was Landon in his body. Like,
I agree. And I feel like that's such a good way of pointing it out. It's just because like, people don't realize like the writing, like after that, like the point is it's like, sure, it's like Raph's face. However, it's Landon's words. Like it's, I just want to shake people sometimes. But you make a good point.
Yeah.
But what would you say? Did you answer? What was your favorite ship?
I said that already. Oh, Hope and Landon, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And my second one was actually Josie and Penelope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk about toxic love. Why?
I wanted them to be together so goddamn bad. That's why.
Penelope deserves so much better.
She did. She deserves so much better. She just deserved to be with Josie. As toxic as they were together, it was like that hate-love relationship after they dated. Like, and I think that like they basically like they're so opposite that they literally like completed each other in a way.
I hate that we didn't get more of them because that was a good ship, I think.
Yeah, it was, and it's upsetting because it's just upsetting.
Lulu as an actress is just like stunning and like she's really talented, and all I wanted was more Penelope because like she was the one really interesting thing about season 1, and I was like, oh my god, please keep her forever. And then they were like, oh, she's leaving, and I'm like, fuck.
They always do that to you.
Yeah, every time I always get like emotionally invested in these like minor B characters, and like I don't know why I do it to myself. Like it really be your own being headspace sometimes.
Well, I guess Penelope's kind of like Matt. You hear of her, we never see her.
Oh, but I hate a Matt, so there's a difference.
Why do you hate Matt?
He's so like just replaceable. Like you could like pick him up and throw him out of the whole series and it would still make perfect sense. Like he has no in place. He just needs to stay home. Like he can go cry about not being a vampire another day, and like I don't want to hear him anymore. I didn't want to look at him, Mayor Donovan. Like stay there, lock yourself up.
I know what he was asking questions when everybody was like, oh, Mayor Donovan. When Alaric was talking about it, I'm like, huh? Like nobody picked up on that. Like we didn't hear about this before.
Right. Like I would rather watch paint dry than watch like him on a screen. Like it, because it's not the actor. They just make his character so bland. Like he just has no seasoning, no taste, no spice, no nothing. Like
Matty Blue.
He's the most generic white boy. Just he's just there.
He just wants to be good. He's not toxic. That's why nobody dated him.
Oh my god, he's just nothing. He's like, I don't know. He's what everyone like should stay away from. Like you would have like he's just lackluster in all avenues of his life. Like there's nothing, like he has no hobbies or outstanding quality. What's one thing? And usually I'm opposed to talking about Vampire Diaries characters, but they had the audacity to bring him for like an episode or two in Legacy. So this is fair play. Okay, this is what you get. If you didn't want him roasted, you shouldn't have brought him in for an episode. I mean,
Zach, the actor himself, like we love you. You're amazing, but your character,
Matt, and it's not Matt's fault at all. It's, you know, it's how the character was written 100%. Like,
yeah, but that's also like that in the books. You got to understand.
Okay, so then it's how he was written. That's exactly what I said. I did not say that. I just didn't explicitly say that. But moving on, we talked about favorite ships. What's your favorite episode?
Joe.
Mommy Dearest.
Yes, Mommy Dearest. My heart. No, I lied.
No.
I lied.
Oh.
That was a heartbreaker. That was my favorite, saddest episode. My favorite episode was when Kai came back, with the exception of Alark fucking murking the crap out of him in like the last couple of minutes. Spoiler alert for anybody that is watching the show. But yeah, no, definitely the episode where Kai came back, because that was Daddy Kai. I missed him so much.
Two very good episodes, honestly. I think I really enjoyed both of the episodes. I especially enjoyed the Joe episode because honestly, just tears, just straight up waterfalls.
Yes.
But I would say like my top tier, like that was definitely, I was choosing when I was thinking about my favorite episode. I was like, ooh, is it the Mom Be Dearest episode? And then the more I thought about it, I was thinking about like other questions we had, and it was like one of them's favorite scene. And then I realized, I was like, I will watch this episode until like I pass out from exhaustion. It's What's Cupid's Problem, which is part of season 2, because it has my favorite hand-in moment in it. And it just like warms my heart. Plus it was like a really funny episode. It was like everyone else, it was like while they were all stuck with Kai, right, in the other fucking universe, they had yet to get them back yet. And like then, you know, they had the whole like B plot with like Landon and his not superhero-y gang of misfits or whatever. Plus you had really cute hand-in moments, and like we really just saw that like vulnerability and sensitivity that comes with like that hand in ship. They do it so well. God, they do it just so fucking well. Like, I genuinely believe these, like, characters are in love with each other. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. Next time you watch Legacies, and there's a scene with, like, Handon in it.
Yeah.
Look at the way Danielle delivers her lines when she's in, like, a scene with Arya. Because, like, they play their characters so well. And there's, like, you can tell, like, Hope's this character, she's very hard. She's, like, hard on herself, hard against the world. Like, she's just afraid of getting hurt. And you can tell, like, you know, she has, like, barricades and walls up and stuff like that. She's a very complex character. When she's in scenes with Arya, her eyes could visibly become softer. Like, there could be, like, a bunch of people in the room, and, like, it'll just be, like, hard and, like, steel cold towards everyone else. And the second she turns towards Landon, it's like everything in her, like, her features melt, and she's a much softer version of herself. Right. And it's so vulnerable, and it's so, like, just amazing to watch, because I'm telling you, there's scenes where it's just the two of them. Even in the first episode, you can see it. Like, she was just, like, kind of bitchy and, like, closed off, and then when it was just them and, like, the holding cell, like, she just became this, like, delicate, vulnerable being. It's so beautiful to watch. I think if they did any character justice, honestly, it's the two of them. And I said it last week, I'll say it right now. Oh my God, I love them. But that's just me hyping up Handon. But to kind of, like, jump into the next question here, which is, what's your favorite scene? I'll just start because it is in What's Cupid's Problem, and it's at kind of at the end where they have, like, that shower kiss after, like, Cupid literally ate Landon's heart in front of Hope, and she, like, right. Again, like, thought he died, because who knew that penises can just regrow hearts or whatever. And they have, like, that cute moment. Also, the script, Run Through Walls, that song is being killer. Like, yes. Love that song. Oh, also they had the MG and Caleb's sister, and I'm forgetting her name, but I love her dearly. Oh, I love that character. But my favorite scene is afterwards, when they're, like, in, like, the Great Hall kind of situation. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Hope goes up to Lynn, she's like, are you, like, did you mean what you said when you were like, why did I pick you? And he's like, yeah, kind of sometimes. And then she shows him her journal, and inside it says, oh my God, I love this, is my favorite freaking Legacies quote ever. He is so patient and trusting and kind and 1,000 other things I never was. So if all I ever have is the memory of the way he loved me, then I will survive this. And that's what she wrote when she came back after the little sad face you have. It's so beautiful. And, like, that was when she came back and she saw Josie and Landon kiss right after getting out of Malivore.
Oh, yeah.
She wrote that in her journal after she saw that.
That was season 2 premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember we were all screaming when we went to go see it. We were in the middle of the town square with a whole bunch of, like, fans. And when that happened, all you heard was, like, screams from the crowd. And I was like, no. Yeah. It was so harsh to watch. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Those two bitches in front of us that were like, yeah!
We were like, shut up! You're not welcomed here.
I bet you the ship 4 would.
Oh, ew. People who
if you don't ship if you are the people that don't ship Hope and Landon, you definitely ship 4 would.
Oh, the worst kinds of people. Bland, no seasoning, no taste, just unseasoned chicken. Stop it.
Like the way that white people cook.
Yes, thank you, Christina. But what is your favorite scene?
Definitely Mama Dearest, in when Josie and Lizzie find out saying goodbye to Joe. Mm-hmm. That was a tearjerker. I would say it would have something to do with Kai, but Kai dies, and I don't like to think about that. Even though Joe is dead, but that one hit my heart a little too hard. I was like, I can't be my favorite. It's my second favorite, but he dies, so we're gonna put that third, actually. But definitely when Lizzie and Josie were saying goodbye to Joe, which was like,
oh, and then they just absorbed her.
I can't deal with it. Oh my God, I cannot deal with it.
Speaking about tear-jerking episodes, oh my God, another one of my favorite scenes ever, funnily enough, is when Landon dies for the first time, and like we're first introduced to like him being reborn as like a phoenix.
Yeah,
that scene. Oh my God, Danielle. Oh my God. I wanted to die. I was like, no. Did I become obsessed with another minor B character whose life was just as I was devastated.
He was like a minor C in the originals, but now he became a B. in like a
No,
scene?
he's A plus now, but I thought, because I was like, no.
Oh.
It's kind of like that Game of Thrones moment where you thought, well, you never watched it, but the main guy, the father, Ned or whatever, he dies. You think he's going to be this big prominent role because it's all centered around him in the first episode, and then he dies. Like, literally, right? And you're like, what? I thought you were really important. I guess not. So, like, I thought that's what just happened to me, and I was very upset. I was like, oh no, baby Landon. No. But yeah, second favorite scene the entire show was that one.
The next one is, so real quick, we all know about like the wolf pack and everything that's going on like in like the show and shit like that. We don't really know too much about the factions, but I think we have like a good idea about like the wolf pack than really any other faction. Is there anything that you could change about it?
I feel like the wolves have such like a little minor role in this show. Like, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, would it really matter if I changed anything?
You know what? That's kind of right. I think everyone's saying.
Like, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, there's no, like, I guess in the originals, it had much more prominent role because of, like, Haley and stuff like that. Right. But, like, if I could change anything, I wish that they showed Hope's wolf side more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And, like, I guess that's more of, like, what do you think a certain character should have? It's not really, like, a faction thing. But I think it's just really interesting because then the only way we'd get, like, a more in-depth kind of conversation about the werewolves is if they kind of venture down that Hope line. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're not going to give it to, like, Jed or or Raphael, even though he's, like, the alpha of the pack. And also,
Raphael should be alpha.
Right, but why was it so easy for him to beat an alpha? Do you remember that? Like, he literally went in and was like, I'm going to take this shit over, boom, bang, done. And as if it was, like, nothing. Because, like, when you're an alpha, you have, like, I guess I was just in, like, maybe I'm, like, confusing it with, like, Teen Wolf facts or something like that. But I thought, like, the alpha, once he's, like, proclaimed the alpha, has the strength of the pack behind him.
No, but I think it's, like, I think the reason why that he beat him was because it should be Raphael's pack. Like, I think he was literally born to be, like, a leader. That's, like, in, like, the pack.
But you don't know that. We have no backstory of Raphael whatsoever for you to come to that conclusion other than you just having favoritism.
But, like, not only that, he did spend, like, 3 months as a wolf himself.
Yeah,
so
but that's
going to be better at fighting and being a wolf, it's going to be him.
But that was season 2. That was the ending of season 1, beginning of season 2, and he beat Jed as alpha in season 1. Like, when he just got to the school, he, like, refused to conform to, like, being in a pack, and then an episode or 2 later was like, you know what? I need to be alpha because of the honor council, which was introduced in season 1 before any of that happened. And he was like, because I need Landon to stay at the school. So that's what I'm saying.
See, that's where you literally just answered your own question because you said we don't know anything about his backstory. So we don't know how he's so powerful or, like, what he's been through that made him beat Jed so freaking easily.
No, he went through nothing. He literally just turned, like, a couple of months ago before that.
Yeah, but it's the rules still stay the same. Maybe Jed's just a shitty freaking wolf and everybody else is just really weak pieces of crap. Who knows? I don't know. But, yeah, that answers that question.
I guess a better question or a better follow-up question would be, if you had to choose besides the werewolves, like, what other faction would you maybe like to see more of or change?
I would like to see more of the vampires.
We had 8 seasons in the Vampire Diaries about vampires.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, like, the thing that kind of, like, confuses me a little bit, right? Because you have the 3 factions. You have the werewolves, vampires, and witches, right? Mm. And then you have, like, it's kind of like a school. So, like, they have classes and stuff. Like, there's only so much that you can teach about being a vampire. There's only so much you can teach about being a werewolf. The witches I can understand. You can make, like, a whole semester and a half about learning spells and practicing and stuff like that. But there's only really 3 main things that you need to know for each, the vampire and the werewolf side. Don't kill anybody. Learn how to control your bloodlust as a vampire. And, like, you know, learn about your abilities and shit and how to keep them under control. Same thing for the werewolves. The werewolves had to, I guess, you know, like, when you have to turn on a full moon, like, had to, like, kind of, like, make it less painful or weaker so you can't hurt anybody that much more. But, like, there's only so much depth that you can go into it. I kind of want to, like, look into those classes and see, like, what exactly, like, is going on. Because I think that would be, like, really interesting. Like, the witches, everybody knows, like, there's, like, 1,000,000,001 spells that they can learn. They don't teach offensive magic, right? They only teach defensive magic.
Yeah.
But that's still a lot.
Oh, 100%, but they just needed plot. So like, I don't believe for 1 second they were like, no, none of you can defend yourself. Like, none of you can just attack anybody ever. Like, I think they just needed plot kind of situation. And I think the school dynamic would be fun, but I think that they got so, like, they overplayed it so much in, like, TVD that they're, like, kind of afraid to go down that, like, I guess more classy type vibe. You know what I mean? Classy not as in, like, oh, okay, sipping a pinky up with my tea. More like class vibes, like classroom vibes, I should say. I think they're just trying to do like their own thing or whatever. But I mean, yeah, it's a cool, and to be fair, like on your point, we do see less of the vampires in this show than anything else. You know what I mean? We have MG and Caleb, but like even then, like their characters, amazing as they are just, they're not as like heavily pushed as they like could be. As for me though, jumping out of this like 3 faction thing, because if Legacies taught us anything, is that there's more than just those like original 3. And I want to know more about this tribrid shit. I so desperately want them to focus on an arc for her learning more about being like a tribrid and like what it means when she like unlocks like that vampire side of herself, when it's gonna happen. I just hope when it does happen, they don't like fuck it up. Like, you only have one shot of making it epic. And if there's any storyline that's just going to be amazing, it's going to be that one.
Hope unlocking her vampire side, she'd have to die.
Yes, imagine the scene. Like, just imagine how amazing that scene is going to be. Obviously, because we know she's going to come back. But it's going to be one of those moments like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this one. Turn it up kind of situation.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, wow. But, like, now she would be a hype, like, okay, so now I have a question for you. Since, you know, like, you can't be a vampire and a witch at the same time.
Yeah.
Only, what is it? There's only certain types of, Gemini. Gemini vampires can be, what are they called? Heretics?
Yeah.
So, like, now, but like any other witch, if they were to become a vampire, they lose their side to magic. Would that happen to Hope? Or do you think she would keep it?
I think they would find a way to keep it. Because there's other ways of doing magic without being quote-unquote magical, which we've seen. No. We've seen it in Cole in the originals, which is really important. It's like one of those, this is one of those situations where like you kind of, to understand the dynamic, you kind of had to have watched the 2 previous shows, right? Because you have to have knowledge of vampires and witches existing as one being, which being the heretics from TVD, and you have to have the understanding of Cole when like the witches got mad at him because he was a witch first. Obviously he lost like his witch's like, ability after he turned into a vampire, but he was still doing magic, quote unquote, in like the little like lab that he had or whatever in the cemetery, stuff like that. So there's ways of doing magic while not being like a witch or something like that, if I'm getting my facts correct. I think it's going to be something like that. I think she's still going to figure it out. And like as we've like seen it thus far, Hope is like this all fucking being godlike creature. She's gonna figure out a way to be all 3. Like we can have a phoenix and a fairy, we can have like a witch and a vampire, and like because like for her to never unlock that side of her, you know what I mean? Like I just don't believe it. I think we're gonna see it, and I think we're gonna see it sometime soon. I don't see them dragging it out. In comparison, Hope unlocking her tribrid is the same equivalent as like them finding the cure for Elena. Yeah. Like it holds the same kind of weight situation. Like they're gonna try to draw it out, but I don't think it's gonna last as like long as that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that sums that up. So the next question is this can be fun. Describe Legacies in 3 emojis.
3 emojis?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to think about this before we started because I felt like I didn't want to be here forever. And I have reasons for all of them. So I'm going to say what they are first and then I'll explain. Right. So 1, a roller coaster. 2, obviously a fairy emoji. And 3, you know, like the, not the skull with the X behind it, but the regular skull.
Yeah, like the dead skull.
Yeah. So I picked roller coaster, not because like my emotions are everywhere or whatever, more in like some episodes are just, oh my God, amazing. And then other episodes just completely miss the mark. Like, it's just, we're like super high. And we're like, yeah. And then they do some dumb shit with the writing. And I'm like, why? Why do you hate me? The fairy emoji, obviously, for our weekly Wade representation in this podcast. And 3, the dead skull, because this show got me fucked up. Okay? I just straight up, how dare it? It attacks me. just emotionally. I guess it can also be perceived as like the necromancer, like good on them for staying with the villain long enough for me to remember his name.
Okay, so I don't know if it counts as one emoji or three, but you know the eyes, like that's on the TikToks? We have like the eyes and the mouth.
You know what's funny? I was gonna do
that as one emoji.
I was gonna do that as like my 3. That's why I'm laughing that you said that. I was gonna do that. Sure, we can count that as one. That's fine.
So like everybody knows, like you have like the eye and then you have like the open mouth kind of with the other eye is like looking, because I'm always looking like, is this gonna be good or like what's going on here? Because I'm always looking confused every time a new episode comes up. They'll be like, oh wait, doesn't this do that and doesn't that? Like I can't. So because that's also how I'm looking at the screen when I'm watching the show. Sometimes I'm just like, huh? Like what the fuck? Where did this come from?
Is that
I'm looking for where the funding went.
Is that a show tune note that just left this man's mouth? Is this about to be a musical?
The other one would definitely be I don't know how to explain it. It's the face emoji with the wide eyes. He's like,
yeah, like the shocked one.
Like the shocked one, because they throw some stupid shit from left, right, and center in almost like every fucking episode, and they always like, I feel like in some certain episodes like are like really easy to predict, and then like season 2 episode 1. That was the face that I freaking made when Landon and Josie had that kiss, because I was like, why? And they do be doing that throughout season 2. So, and the other one would be the smiling face with the one single tear. It's like smiling with its mouth closed, but it has like that one single teardrop coming down. Because I get frustrated. I just get so frustrated I cry. Like I'll go for something, I'm like, yes, 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 and then Joey Puck's like, nope, and I'm like, fuck.
Yikes. That kind of makes me want to ask you, if you could describe Legacies in 3 adjectives instead of emojis, what would it be?
3 adjectives. I could just give you one and be done, one and done.
Okay, sure, one and done it.
So if I were to use one adjective for the show, that's a tough one. I would say, why is it tough? What are yours? What are your 3 adjectives?
My adjectives for the show are 1, hollow, 2, achievable, and 3, moving, which sounds bizarre and out there, but let me explain. Hollow, because the show just lacks substance. Like, it, in theory, like, they have a great, like, plot and stuff like that, but it's just, we keep saying it, there's no, like, depth to anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that I can, like, sink my teeth into for a vampire show. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... when you bite into a chocolate and instead of being solid, it's just like hollow. It's like, oh, it's there, but like you missed the mark again.
Disappointment, you mean?
Yeah. Achievable, because I feel like it has 2 meanings, right? The show could get there. It could get better, right? It gets better, guys. Don't worry. Hold out hope. And 2, I feel like if me and you were placed into this like imaginary Mystic Falls like world, we'd also be able to do the same things all these characters are doing. Like, there's nothing about it that I'm like, oh my god, only these characters could do it. Like, I feel like it's something achievable for everybody, which I guess is part of the charm of the show, is that you can like put yourself into this like world and be like, okay, yeah, no, I fucking thrive here. Like, yes, queen. And moving as in terms of like the show's progress, because we see now the ball is rolling, and this is where what I meant when I brought it up at the very beginning of the podcast, where it's like we were like, oh yeah, season 3 getting the ball rolling, we're gonna be lit, getting like litty gang, and then I remembered, I was like, no, season 2 really would have gotten the ball rolling for season 3. So those are my 3: hollow, achievable, and moving.
So mine 3, my first one for the show would, I think, honestly, would say predictable. And I'm gonna explain a little bit on that, because it's just, no matter what goes wrong, like, we know for a fact, like, okay, this isn't set in stone, like, they're gonna find like a way about it. We may not know how, but like, we just know, like, you know, like, Super Squad's there, so we know for a fact, like, whatever is gonna happen, like, it's gonna be taken care of within like the next episode or so, which I think it should be dragged out like a little bit more. But that's like the first one that I would use for that. With the exception of like a couple of episodes, I'd say it's memorable. Like, because they do have like a couple like pretty good episodes where, like, you know, we're true tear jerkers and stuff. And I think that's like something that would stick with us. And my my third one.
Oh God.
Listen, I mean, it's my opinion. I can say what I want.
That's my opinion. I have that video lives like rent free in my mind. Okay, what's the last one?
I think actually, you know what? I think those two kind of like pretty much sum it up for me because I can't really think of much else to say because like that's basically just like all I feel really about the show. AJ,
Christina.
AJ,
Mm-hmm.
ready for your next two questions?
I'm so ready.
Okay.
Excited.
Feel free to go off as much as you want.
I'm afraid, but okay.
I want to know your most hated scene in the entire show. That doesn't have to do with Hope and not Hope. I'm sorry, Landon and Josie.
Okay.
But besides that, I want to know like your most hated scene and why you hated it.
There's not a lot of scenes I hate, which is, I guess, kind of like, oh, there's no way. Like, you have to hate one scene. And, like, I do. There's, like, scenes where I'm like, whatever. I think the ending. I think season 1 finale. When I watched it the first time, I was like, okay, it's, like, not the best, but it's not the worst, and it makes sense. But, like, the more and more times I rewatch the show, I just get more and more aggravated at, like, this poor baby. Like, poor Hope. Just poor... And, like, it's not so much that, like, okay, her sacrifice didn't mean anything. She jumped to the pit. I think it was, like, it could have been so much more emotional kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there wasn't really much of a build-up to, like, she was like, oh, everyone's gonna friend me. Okay, bye. I love you, Landon. And then snaps. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like there was just so much. I feel like it was just so rushed. And, like, looking back on it now, like, the series finale should have been, like, a 2-parter. Or something like that. You know what I mean? There could have been so much more. And I just get frustrated the more and more times I just rewatch that episode. For like, because like the first time is okay, but the second time I'm just like, oh, you could have done so much more. You could have done so much more. And it aggravates me. Because like I was really looking for like those, because I mean, Alark was a little upset, but he was like, don't do this. And then she was like, haha, stupid, I'm gonna do it anyway. It was 16 episodes. That was season 1, right? 16 episodes. It's not a lot to get super invested in like this character, and sure, she's my favorite ever, but for the people who are just joining the show for the first time, that's not enough to be like, I really, you know what I mean? There was like no substance to it. Like if she jumps, she jumps. If she doesn't, she doesn't kind of situation. I mean, it was annoying because she just told Landon she loved him and then no one was gonna remember her and stuff like that. But I was like, I just wanted so much more from that scene. That could have been one of the best moments of the show. Like that right there. Like I was created to be a tribrid kind of situation. Like it would have been like, it would have brought all the universes all together and like clicked, and they could have just done it so much better, and they just, again, roller coaster.
Okay. Who is your most hated character that's not Matt Donovan? Who do you absolutely want to like be killed off and like be done with it?
That's hard because I love all these characters, annoyingly enough. Sorry, either and like these poor girls kill off Alark or just kill off Caroline. I'm so tired of these phone calls with no voice back.
Kill off who?
Caroline. Because Caroline still, like, exists in, like, the verse or whatever. And, like, I love her. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I'm so tired of them, like, using her character's name because they own the rights to her. And, like, Candace Acola is just, like, over it. I mean, Candace King. She's just completely over it. She's, like, never say never, but at the same time, totally said never. Like, just kill off her character. Like, just say that she died looking for a reason to, like, stop the merge. And, like, just be fucking done with it. Or, like, Alark. Because I feel like Alark's just whiny. Like...
Yeah, he is kind of whiny in Legacies. He isn't like that in the other shows. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened to his character.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just not Alark. So, like, sure, like, he has... I mean, it would suck, right? It'd be totally detrimental to, like, Hope's progress and, like, poor Lizzie and Josie who, like, lose another parent or whatever. But, like... Ugh, they could die and I really wouldn't care kind of situation. Either one of them.
I think I would absolutely, like, if Alark, because I've been through Alark's death, like, 4 or 5 times now, but, like, if he died in Legacies and I knew he wasn't coming back, I would be a sobbing freaking mess for, like, days over that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a good episode. Like, it'd be great plot. Like, I'd feel more bad for, like, Hope than, like, Josie and Lizzie, if anything, which is, like, kind of sad.
He bothers her more.
Yeah, but, like... And, like, she has, like, nobody else, and, like, people just keep dying on her poor baby. But he's too whiny for me. Or, like, I don't know. I used to like Dorian. I'm starting to not like him as much, because, again, all the adults in the show just seem whiny to me.
Yeah, I don't like Dorian. I feel like he's one that you can kill off and nobody really notice.
No, that's Emma.
No, not Emma. No, Dorian.
But I'm saying Dorian's at least a little bit more memorable because he has all this, like, knowledge. Emma's just there to have, like, this weird love triangle between Dorian and Alark for absolutely no reason. Like, makes no sense. Like, you know what? I take it back. Kill Emma. I take back all my answers. Kill Emma. She's so useless. She's so useless. Oh, I'm a psychiatrist. And the whole fucking school's fucked up. You're in a school for supernatural fucking kids. Nobody there is doing their best, okay? Cut it the fuck out. We're over her. We're done. She can't make up her mind. We don't fucks with that here. She's gotta go. Yeah, change my answer. We'll leave the psyche of Hope, Lizzie, and Josie alive and their father can stay alive, but Emma's gotta hit the boot.
Well, that answers the 2 last questions that we have, and now it's game time.
Whose line is it anyways? Dun dun dun. So the way we decided we were going to play this game is, since I've seen the show kind of 3 times, I felt like it was almost cheating if I was like, okay, give me a line, like I'll guess it, just because I've seen it too many times. Christina's only watched it once, so I think it's kind of a fun kind of game to see if she can guess what line. So I went on Google and I searched all these different quotes. I tried to make them as easy as possible without giving too much away, again, because she's not like a super fan. So I have 10 of them in front of me, and I'm just gonna go down the list. Some of them should be like super, super easy, and the other one's like a medium kind of length. But the first one is, you have such a big heart, it's okay to let other people see it.
A lark?
No.
Lizzie.
No.
Hope.
You get 3 tries. No. Actually, it was Joe from your favorite episode, Mom Be Dear.
No. Are you serious?
Number 2. I'm getting back to me. I am who I am.
Lizzie.
Lizzie did say that. Yes.
Haha.
Next one. Dear Hope. This one's really easy. The state of Alabama has like a million Waffle Houses, and I can't stop thinking about what it felt like to kiss you.
Landon.
Yes. I really like that one. Was super easy, but also
Dear Hope. I'm like, yeah, Landon.
Oh, baby. Okay. Number 4. This isn't much of an after party, Penelope. There aren't any snacks.
MG.
MG did say it.
Yes.
Yes, he did. He's all about them snack lives.
If it wasn't MG, I was gonna say Caleb next.
Caleb's never mentioned food once. That boy doesn't eat. Number 5. I'm unique and special, and for some reason, I'm really emo about it. Wait here while I go sacrifice myself unnecessarily.
Landon.
No.
Oh, no.
She was so confident. She was like, Landon.
Raphael?
One last try.
Lizzie.
Lizzie did say that. Number 6, getting close to the end. Your face looks like beef jerky. Yeah.
Your face looks like beef jerky?
Yep.
It sounds pretty mean, so I'm gonna say Lizzie.
Wrong. I guess giving you 3 tries, there's only a list of people you can choose from.
Caleb?
No.
MG.
MG did say it. Okay. I'm gonna not give you 3 turns.
I was gonna say MG. I don't know why I said Caleb.
The next one, very simple. No, they're turnips.
Caleb.
Wrong.
MG.
Wrong.
I don't know.
It was Sebastian, and it's when him and Lizzie is like, Christmas was surprisingly violent, and they're in the car, and she's like, you call my friends parsnips. He goes, no, they're turnips. It's my favorite line in the entire show. I love it to bits and pieces. It's honestly the way he delivered that, I was like, yes, this is my favorite line in the entire show. No, they're turnips. And he was so annoyed that she got it wrong. Number 8, a monster would have let you die.
Is it a female or male?
I'm not telling you.
It's a female.
Not telling you.
A monster would have let you die. Lizzie? Alaric. Hope.
3 strikes and you're out. It was actually Kai who said it.
It was Kai?
Kai said that line. Second to last. You know I'm proud of you.
Alaric.
Alaric did say that. I'll give you a point. Do you know for who?
Hope.
The last one. Super simple. Because I figured we'd give you kind of a break. It's Japanese for what the hell is she doing here? You're only getting 1 chance on this one.
Josie.
Josie did say that, yes.
Yes.
I tried to be, you looked so unsure of yourself. You're like,
because I knew it, and I'm like, wait a second, is this a trick question? Is it supposed to be the monster? I'm like, wait, no, the monster spoke Japanese. Josie was the one that spoke it, that could translate.
But yeah, I figured I'd make them super easy, just so that, because you did only watch it once or whatever, so I figured I'd give you kind of a break. You didn't do that bad. You didn't do that bad.
Horrible.
It could have been a little better. But as you continue to rewatch the show and leading up to season 3, you'll get a little better, and that's okay. But I figured now's kind of a great time to drop the mic. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This one's a bit longer. We just really wanted to vibe, and since it's the last like episode we're doing of Legacies, we figured we just kind of really push it to our heart's content till we really feel like we're done talking about things. So thanks for hanging out with us and letting us do our own kind of thing separate from like our normal content. We really appreciate it. Lastly, just make sure that you're following us on Instagram. My handle is at Angelina_MNDZ, and Christina's is at CSEV97. We post any and all updates on both of our Instagrams, so just make sure that you're following us both. We'll see you guys at 1 p.m. next Friday, and remember that no matter where you're tuning in, type in the 1997 as one word, followed by the word podcast. Make sure you're hitting the follow and like button. It really helps push our content, plus you'll be notified every time we upload a brand new episode. We're the 1997. Until Friday, guys. Peace.